Scientists on high alert as Alaska's Mount Spurr shows signs of imminent eruption. Scientists are closely monitoring Mount Spurr, an 11,000-foot stratovolcano located 81 miles west of Anchorage, Alaska. This giant volcano has recently shown alarming signs of increased volcanic activity, prompting experts to predict that an eruption could happen within weeks or months. On March 7th, Mount Spurr began emitting elevated levels of volcanic gas from both its summit and a side vent, which had last erupted in 1992. This event marks a significant development in the ongoing unrest that Mount Spurr has been experiencing since April 2024. Seismic activity in the region, characterized by small earthquakes, has been a primary indicator that new magma is likely rising towards the volcano's vents. With increased seismic activity and rising gas emissions, scientists now believe that Mount Spurr could erupt explosively, particularly at the crater peak side vent. According to Matt Haney, scientist in charge at the Alaska Volcano Observatory, if the volcano erupts, it could produce massive ash plumes rising as high as 50,000 feet into the air. Each explosive eruption could last 3 to 4 hours, and the resulting ash clouds may blanket nearby cities, including Anchorage, with a thick layer of ash. The eruption could also trigger devastating mudslides and avalanches of volcanic debris racing down the volcano's slopes at speeds of over 200 miles per hour. Fortunately, there are no communities within the danger zone. The United States Geological Survey (USGS) has issued an advisory for Mount Spurr, indicating that it is exhibiting elevated levels of volcanic unrest. This advisory is based on several signs that have been observed over the past year, including increased seismic activity, swelling of the volcano's surface, and significant snow and ice melt near the summit. The recent increase in volcanic gas emissions is the latest piece of evidence pointing toward the likelihood of an eruption. Scientists flew over the volcano on March 7th to measure the gas emissions, and for the first time since the activity began, they detected gas levels significantly above the norm. On March 11th, further measurements confirmed that the volcano's gas emissions were still well above the expected levels. These findings have led scientists to conclude that an eruption is increasingly likely, similar to past eruptions of Mount Spurr. The volcano last erupted in 1992 and again in 1953, both times from the crater peak side vent. The summit crater, however, has not erupted in the past 5,000 years, making it more likely that an eruption will occur at the side vent. The 1992 eruption of Mount Spurr covered Anchorage in a layer of ash and caused significant disruptions. The ash cloud darkened the skies, and air traffic in Anchorage was forced to shut down for 20 hours. The eruption caused nearly $2 million in damages, including office closures and cleanup costs. Fortunately, no fatalities occurred directly from the eruption, although heart attacks were reported from people shoveling ash. Breathing in volcanic ash can also lead to serious health problems, especially for individuals with respiratory conditions such as asthma. Although Mount Spurr's activity indicates an eruption is likely, scientists cannot pinpoint an exact timeline. They are continuing to monitor the volcano closely, with one of the most significant signs to watch for being a volcanic tremor. A volcanic tremor occurs when magma begins moving toward the surface, signaling that an eruption is imminent. The last time Mount Spurr erupted in 1992, the first signs of a volcanic tremor occurred about 3 weeks before the eruption. While scientists anticipate that a volcanic tremor could be a clear indicator of an upcoming eruption, they also note that some volcanoes, like nearby Mount Redoubt, have experienced volcanic tremors for months before an eruption took place. As a result, predicting the exact timing of Mount Spurr's eruption remains challenging. To better understand when an eruption might occur, scientists are continuing to monitor all signs of activity closely. If volcanic tremors begin, they will serve as the clearest signal yet that an eruption is just weeks away. However, as with all volcanic activity, there remains uncertainty, and scientists are prepared to respond quickly should the situation escalate further.